Good afternoon. My name is Adam Trippiedi.
Hold it.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Hello, world. This is Edward Bevilacqua from La Voce magazine. And as you can see, we have, well, you can't see it's Adam Trippiedi, but it is Adam Trippiedi, an attorney here in Las Vegas, a young attorney here in Las Vegas, who we are appreciative to having the opportunity to talk to today. Adam is from New York. He's going to tell the story, and I guess like a lot of people from New York, you got to get in the first word, right?
Right, of course. So my family in New York, we always had auto shops. My grandfather and my father for generations. My great-grandparents came over from Italy. My grandfather opened the shop.
Okay, now wait, what part of Italy?
I came from Sicily.
Okay.
My grandmother's family came from Napoli.
Okay,
so I'm three-quarter, well, I'm three-quarters Sicilian and one-quarter Napolitan.
Okay. So do you say you're three-quarters Sicilian, one-quarter Italian, or what?
Oh, come on, man. That's not right.
No. See,
I
always say it the other way because, and I do this at the club because my experience is the Sicilian people are the hard workers.
That's absolutely true.
And they have their businesses and they worked hard and they made something. It's the Northern Italians, some Northern Italians, that are the people who tell you what to do. But it's the Sicilians who actually go out and make things happen.
We do
So
it.
I say that with a lot of respect.
Understood. We go out, we make it happen.
Yeah.
We open businesses, we work hard, like my family has done. So in 1994, my family came out to Las Vegas, opened a shop, an auto shop. I worked there for about 7 years, get the blue collar experience. So us Sicilians love to get dirty like that. So
we build things. I'm not Sicilian. My family's from Abruzzi, but I think one thing genetically about Italians is we have the ability to envision something and then turn it into reality by using our hands.
Right. And as a lawyer, I feel like I don't use my hands, but I can use my mind and create, creative arguments and different pleadings, different
bring
ideas.
New things into existence.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, and then where'd you go to high school?
I went to Green Valley High School.
Okay. So you lived out in Henderson.
Absolutely.
Okay. I have two daughters that go to Coronado.
Okay. I'm very familiar with the area.
And then you decided to go to UNLV.
Right. I went to UNLV for undergrad. It was just made perfect sense to me.
What was your degree?
I was a political science major.
Okay. So at that time you were planning to be an attorney?
I had not yet planned, but during the course of taking those classes, speaking with family members, I decided this was the route for me. I had always felt comfortable in writing, speaking in front of people.
Okay.
I felt like
Student
this was
body
the way
president? Like that?
Not quite, but maybe more informally.
All right. Sure. Okay. And so you went to UNLV, went to law school.
At UNLV.
And then you were saying, one of the great things about Las Vegas is opportunity.
Right. So it's interesting. When I was in law school was 07, 08, 09, that time period. During the time period, obviously, there was a great recession going on in this country. So a lot of people who were in law school, not here, but in other states, were concerned about the opportunities. In California or in New York, for instance, there's a glut of law schools.
Yeah.
So there's people coming out of law school with $100,000 or more in debt, concerned that they won't be able to find a job. I had the opposite experience. I came out, and this is part of the great thing in Las Vegas. It's a small legal community. So I was able to meet people very quickly. You make connections. Everybody knows each other. I was able to get a clerkship with a judge out here. I started working for a judge out here for 1 year. After that, he helped me out. He helped me meet some people, and I wound up at my current job. So even though in other states people don't have jobs, they have incredible amounts of debt, here the law school is relatively affordable compared to California and New York. And I was able to find a job immediately, which I know a lot of my peers elsewhere were probably not able to do.
I heard that the lawyers out here are collegial with one another, that it's not cutthroat and backstabbing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've had that experience. Because it's a relatively small legal community, a lot of people know each other. You run into the same people over and over again. You don't want to cut anyone off or break any bridges.
Okay. And now tell me, I've heard people say one of the things they don't like about Nevada, the legal system in Nevada, is that it takes forever to get to court.
Well,
what do you say about that?
Well, I don't think it's that bad, actually.
Okay.
I don't think it's that bad. I get on the 15, I go straight up the 15, get off Charleston, and I'm there.
I mean, cases to trial,
cases
not to
trial.
the court.
Oh, well, absolutely, yeah. To get the trial, it does take some time, but the idea is you want to try to settle cases before it gets to that point.
Okay.
So that's why it's drawn out, because trial is very expensive,
Yeah,
and it's very risky.
Yeah.
Two things that we don't like.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is mediations, settlement conferences,
got it.
informal negotiations in order to resolve things before it gets to that point.
Okay, so I heard only about 2% of cases actually go to trial. Is that about right?
That sounds about right to me.
Okay. And do they have mandatory mediation or arbitration, or is that built into the system?
Well, it's interesting.
It
kind of depends on what field of law you're in. I do a lot of construction law.
Okay.
And in that field, there is mandatory mediation.
Okay.
Whereas I also do personal injury law, and there is no mandatory mediation. If you want to mediate, that's totally on you. The parties usually do at some point mediate in order to try to avoid trial, like I was talking about.
Now, do you know he's now a Judge, Richard Scotti?
I'm familiar with Mr. Scotti.
Okay, yeah.
With Judge Scotti.
Yeah, he did. I think he was heavily in construction.
He was. I think he was involved. I know he was the bar president of the Clark County Bar Association.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right.
Okay. And so he's a member of the Italian American Club too. Just FYI.
That's good to know.
Okay, so you like the practice of law. You're not one of these guys. You don't seem to be one of these guys that they do it because of the money, but they really hate it.
Right. I know plenty of lawyers who practice. They don't like it. They get up every day. They dread going to their jobs. I don't understand the thought process. If you don't like it, find something else to do.
Yeah.
Me, I get up. I like coming to my job. I appreciate what I do. And as corny as it sounds, it is an opportunity to help people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. What about, is your mother a good cook?
The best cook? Obviously.
Obviously, yes, right. Okay. Do you guys grow tomatoes in your backyard?
We don't.
Okay. One of the writers for La Voce did a story about you can actually grow tomatoes here without much problem.
I've seen people do it. I've seen people grow tomatoes. I think I've seen lemon trees as well.
Somebody was telling me about fig trees, that he grows fig trees here.
That sounds very Italian to me.
Yeah. So what is your favorite dish that your mother makes?
There's quite a few. I think the baked macaroni would be my favorite.
Okay.
Even though a couple of bites and you're about ready to go on the couch and pass out.
Okay. And let's see. So brothers, sisters?
2 brothers. My older brother, Michael, he's in law school right now, believe it or not.
Same place?
Same place at UNLV at William Boyd School of Law. He is 36 years old, so he got a late start. But I like to say that he's following in my footsteps.
Ah, okay.
My younger brother, Christopher, he works with the family business.
Oh,
the auto shop on Rainbow and Russell. He's the head mechanic over there. He's a little younger than me, but he's got a good head on his shoulders.
So in that business, the car repair business, that's changed a lot in your dad's career.
Absolutely. It's totally different. I see my grandfather come in, and he still works at the shop 4 days a week, 89 years old. He'll be 90 this year. But, in his day, everything was mechanical. Now
you had to fix it.
Right.
And you fix things.
Right. Okay. Now everything is electronic and your computers, and you just get rid of it, put in a new one.
Yeah. It's not worth fixing anything.
Not anymore. Right? Not anymore. So it's fun to see. And speaking with the Italian American community out here at the shop, we came out here. We opened the shop in 1998, and since then we've met so many Italian Americans. They realize that we're from New York and Italian,
right? And
they flock.
Okay, well that's good.
And I hope to do the same with my legal practice. We'll bring in lots of Italian Americans in. Well,
that's great. So our goal with La Voce is to be inclusive with Italian Americans all over the country. We think that Las Vegas is now the epicenter, or should be considered the epicenter for Italian American culture because of the architecture. Well, we can start with the community or the history of Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
Has a large or deep Italian history. And, as we talked about before we went live, Italians build things. We're good at building stuff. And a lot of the big construction companies here are Italian.
Oh,
right.
Absolutely. One of my clients is the Trippiedi
Okay.
fence company.
Fence company. My brother works for Country. They do big pipeline company, and another one works for Perini. Or was it Perini?
Yes.
Yeah, Perini, a nephew. So, we have that culture, Italian food.
We have the best. I mean, when I first moved out here, we had a hard time finding food that reminded us of home.
Oh.
So it took some time. But now I can say flat out, I have family come in from New York, from New Jersey. They appreciate what we have now. And whereas at first it might not have been so thrilled to take them there.
Yeah.
Now I look forward to going.
Where do you like going out to eat?
My favorite restaurant in town is probably Gaetano's.
Okay.
Which is on Eastern over near St. Rose in that area.
Do you live down in Henderson still?
Close. I live in Las Vegas, but I live near South Point.
Okay, got it.
So it's kind of in Silverado range.
Yeah, Gaetano's makes sense.
Gaetano's I love. That's maybe a little northern style. Right over here near my office, Pete Mastriani's. That's a fantastic restaurant.
Did you ever go to Nora's?
Yes, Nora's. I love Nora's. Anyone who can make a decent red sauce, that's for me.
Okay, now interesting. Do you like grappa?
It's strong. But when I'm sitting with my grandfather after dinner, we'll have a little grappa for sure.
So Marcello over at Nora's was telling me their thing is grappa. They want to be, at the very high end of great selections of grappa. And I said, my family always told me, don't drink grappa. You're going to be sorry the next day. And he said, not anymore. He said, there's now laws in Italy of what grapes can be used and what can be done. And it's, all kinds of filtering going on, and he said
it's very strict.
And then I was having lunch over at Trattoria Reggiano. Are you familiar with that in the Venetian?
I've not been there yet.
Okay. They're opening one in Summerlin in March. But we started talking about grappa, and they said, "Oh yeah, here, bring over this blueberry grappa. We'll have it after lunch, for the digestion."
Right.
And this was great stuff. It was fantastic.
It didn't burn going down?
No, this was really excellent stuff. And then last week we went and had dinner at the Italian American Club and ordered some grappa, and it's really good. So
let's give that a shot. The last few times
I've had it, good. Now it's good, but the name needs to be changed.
It'll burn you a little bit if you're not careful, if you don't pick the right one.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So Adam, I know you have to go. Again, thank you very much for your time.
Sure, my pleasure.
People in the world are going to appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay.